Are you a farmer or butcher ready to master direct-to-consumer marketing and meat success? Then you're in the right place. I'm Jared Aachen, the founder of ChopLocal. Each episode of this podcast features interviews with farmers and butchers who have built successful direct-to-consumer meat businesses, and they're going to share their secrets for success with you. From actionable tips to inspiring stories, this podcast has ingredients you will need to succeed in the meat business. After the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social. And check out the rest of our educational resources at ChopLocalUniversity.com. Now, let's turn it over to my business partner, Katie, to get started.
Before we get into this next episode, I wanted to let you know about one of our other resources that we offer. If you are in a hurry to see meat marketing results fast, then the Meat Commerce Essentials course is perfect for you. It covers everything that you need to know to sell meat online successfully, and it's presented in short video snippets to get you the info that you need to put into action as quickly as possible. For a limited time, we're offering our podcast listeners $100 off the course using coupon code POD100. That's POD100. Just visit ChopLocalUniversity.com to find the course and be sure to enter POD100 at checkout. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Meat Success Podcast. I'm Katie Olthoff. I'm the co-founder of ChopLocal and ChopLocal University, and I'm recording this episode today about 2 weeks before Christmas. We have spent a lot of time the last month or so really focused on sales and promotions. And that applies to our ChopLocal marketplace with all of our vendors that we work with. We run sales and promotions on their behalf at no cost to them several times throughout the year. But I've also been working on sales and promotions for several of our done-for-you marketing clients. I haven't talked about those clients a lot on this podcast, but we have a handful of meat companies who are not selling on ChopLocal. They're selling on a different platform, Shopify. I think all of them are on Shopify right now. And we help them with things like sales and promotions and strategy. We help them with their email marketing. And what we really love to do lately is help them with their Meta ads and Google ads. But sales and promotions and that strategy is all part of increasing meat sales throughout the year. So that's what this episode is going to be about. It's probably too late, or by the time that we air this, it's going to be after Christmas. So this won't necessarily apply to your 2025 holiday plans. But there are several opportunities throughout the year to run sales and promotions, whether it's holiday related or just because you need to move some product or hand manage some inventory. But I want you to kind of have all of my thoughts while they are rolling around in my brain, because I feel like these are things that we've learned sometimes through trial and error over the years that can be really helpful for you. So first up, why are we doing sales and promotions? There are some farm marketing gurus out there that you will hear that will say, do not run sales and promotions. That cheapens your product. It attracts the wrong types of customers. Wrong, in my opinion. Okay? And here's why. Number one, we're selling meat. And when we're talking about selling meat, it is a staple grocery item, but it's also one of the most expensive items on your grocery list. So I remember when I was a newlywed, I was actually still in college. We were on one salary. We had to cut our grocery budget. We had to watch it very, very carefully, and meat was a huge part of that. And so number one, when people are looking at their budgets, which a lot of Americans are doing right now, groceries is one of the areas where they may be trying to find some deals, or they may be trying to cut back. Meat obviously falls within that grocery budget. The second piece there is that for people on a budget, meat is the center of the plate for a lot of people. And so that's a place where they can make a big difference in their budget, and they still want quality meat, but they will shop sales and promotions and develop their meal plans or their grocery list around those sales and promotions. Again, I remember being a newlywed, I would go into the grocery store, I would pick up the flyer of what's on sale that week, and I would look through and kind of decide in my head, Okay, it looks like we should make lasagna because spaghetti sauce and Italian sausage are on sale this week. That is how people shop when they are on a budget. They plan their meals around the meat that is on sale. And third, I would say other meat retailers are doing it. You can't go up to the meat counter at your local butcher shop or your local grocery store and not see meat that is on sale. It is part of our culture around purchasing meat. And so I think that using sales and promotions is a strategy that you can really use to your advantage to increase your sales and really delight your customers. But there's a few things that I want you to think about as you are using sales and promotions. One of those things is really thinking about the goal of this particular sale. So sometimes it's just to increase sales. Like you just need some cash flow, or you've got meat in the freezer that needs to move. And so you run a promotion just to increase your sales in general. But other times you might want to use it to control your inventory. Maybe you have an overstock of ground beef or an overstock of short ribs, something like that. And so you want to put those items in particular on sale. You can also use it for specific purposes like growing your email list. This is one of our favorite strategies, is to offer a coupon code for people who sign up for your email list. They can get a coupon code for their first order. The last way that we use sales and promotions sometimes is to see if I can explain this well. To really include all of your expenses in your pricing, but then give customers who don't require all of those services or expenses a discount. So the big example here is if you are selling online and you are shipping, we love to price in your shipping so that you can offer free shipping over a certain order size, and then give your local customers a pickup discount. Instead of adding on a fee at the end, which is one of the biggest reasons that people abandon their carts online is because of shipping fees at the end, you can instead mark up your prices 10 to 20% and then give your local customers a 20% pickup discount. We found that that works really well. So depending on your different goals, there may be different sales or promotions, different offers that you want to put out there for your customers. When I'm thinking through what kind of offer we should suggest or what kind of offer we should put out there, a couple things that stick in my mind are that in general, e-commerce promotions have to be a little bit bigger than in-person or grocery store deals. I was at the grocery store the other day and I know I picked one brand over another because there was a very small difference. It was like two different brands of creamed corn for Thanksgiving. And one of them was like 60 cents cheaper and I chose to save 60 cents. But there is no way that a 60-cent discount on one item would entice me to make an e-commerce purchase if I wasn't 100% sold on the idea already. Okay, so it probably has to be a little bit bigger discount, unless, of course, it is something like, something that you sell for $6 and it is 10% off, it's 60 cents off, and I'm going to be ordering 10 of them or 15 or 20 of them, thinking about your ground products or something like that. Then that 60-cent discount on one item might be worth it for me. But in general, e-commerce deals feel like they need to be a little bit bigger to entice people. The second thing to think about is really to watch out for those percent off promotions. Okay, so if you give your customers, for example, we made this mistake early on in ChopLocal. We gave email subscribers a certain percent off of their first order, and it was off their entire order value. And then guess what? We had people that would come in and place an order with one of our vendors that was like a $2,000 quarter of beef, and it wasn't a deposit system. It was just they paid $2,000 flat and they got 25% off of there. And obviously that cost us a lot of money and we learned that mistake. So unless your system can handle something where it's, 25% off on orders up to $500, I think that percent off can be a little bit risky. That being said, I think that telling customers you can get 25% off on orders up to $500 is also a little bit awkward. Most, again, e-commerce or even other sales and promotions rarely have an upper limit for the number, for the order value. I have seen at grocery stores, they will say limit 2 per customer or limit 3 per customer, but that takes some finagling on your e-commerce system to make sure that works. If you're at the farmer's market, that might be completely acceptable and you can do it that way. Okay. Couple other things to think about is if your general goal is to increase your sales, one strategy you might consider is to calculate your average order value. So figure out how much do people usually spend with you. If you're at the farmer's market and the average customer spends $25 with you a week, then what you might do the next week is you might offer a promotion where if they spend $30, they're going to get a freebie, or they're going to get a little discount, or they're going to get a coupon for their next visit or something like that. So you take that average order value and you push them just a little bit higher. We have done that before for most recently our Black Friday sale. Our average order value on ChopLocal includes pickup orders and shipping orders. The average order value is about $120. And so we push people a little bit higher and we say, if you spend $150, you're going to get $25 free. If you spend $200, you're going to get $40 off of that order. So we're using this strategically, knowing our data, knowing where people are at with their average orders, and just encouraging them to spend just a little bit more. This is also a great strategy for your free shipping threshold. Once you have some data and you start to know what that average order value is for people, you can push them to order more by offering free shipping only at a certain amount. You can also use sales and promotions to manage inventory, okay? A few strategies to do that. And this is really in the situation where you have a big overflow, a back stock of a certain product, and it's perishable, we don't want it in the freezer forever. So if you need to move it, obviously you can just mark down that item. Offer a sale on that specific item. Maybe pair that with some recipe ideas in your email newsletter and on your social media to help you move that specific item. But you can also offer a universal sale where people can purchase whatever they want, but you add that item as a bonus to the other orders. So spend $500 this month and get 10 pounds of ground beef free. Or spend $50 at the farmer's market this week and get a pound of ground beef free. Again, knowing that average order value is going to be helpful because you can push people to go just a little bit further in order to get their free items. Another promotion that we run every year at Christmas is a gift card promotion. And I've really been thinking about this lately. So we actually offer a $150 gift card for only $100. And we do this from the time that shipping ends. So this year, 2025, the last day for shipping is going to be Monday the 15th, or that week of the 15th. And so then we will turn on our gift card promotion so that even though our customers can't order for shipping, they can still purchase last minute Christmas gifts for their friends and family. Now, I know that a $50 discount on a gift card sounds enormous, and it really is. But every year I do the math and I check at the end of the year to see, did we come out ahead on this? Did we make money on this deal? And we do every year. There are always going to be a certain number of people who do not redeem their gift cards. That's just the way. I'm terrible at redeeming gift cards. I end up losing them or forgetting about them. So there's always going to be those people. And actually with this discount, we still end up making money off of this promotion by the end of the year. So Gift card promotion is a great idea, especially if you're not shipping and it's right before the holidays. If you are a farmer's market vendor or you have a butcher shop and you're not shipping, again, this is such a great last minute gift. And what a great way. We talk a lot about word of mouth marketing and how powerful it can be, but this is a way where you can actually incentivize people to spread the word about your business by giving a gift card to someone that they care about. What better, testimonial is there for someone to say, "Hey, I shop from this company, or I buy my meat from this business and I really like it and I thought that you would like it too." Like, that is such a powerful word of mouth strategy. And so I love this gift card promotion. Would highly recommend you try something similar. I've also seen some where, you buy a $75 gift card for your loved one and you get a $10 bonus that you get to use later on. There's a lot of different ways that you can run this. We just do a straight up sale on gift cards and it's been fantastic for us. All right, so those are some things to think about when you are planning out your sales and promotions as far as determining what the discount should be or what kind of offer you want to put out there. Now let's talk about how to communicate your sale or promotion to your customers and potential customers. Obviously, the first place that you are probably going to go is to your social media. But what I want to point out here, and you've heard this in our holiday gift box webinar that Teresa and Rebecca were guests on, you need to post it on your social media repeatedly. Do not post it once and think that that is enough, okay? You need to be posting it over and over and over again in slightly different ways until the promotion has ended. If you're using advertising, same things. Let's get it set up in your Meta ads. Let's get it set up in your Google ads and make sure that people know about this promotion. The second thing I want you to remember is that you need to plaster it all over your website, okay? If you are running a promotion and I'm a first-time visitor to your website, I should be able to I should know about that promotion as soon as I visit. So we want it on the home page. If you can do a header announcement, we want it on the product itself, but really I want it to make it so easy for people to find this promotion so that it can really do the work that you want it to do. A third thing to think about in communicating it is a little bit of the psychology around numbers. I'm going to give an example of that 10% off sale, okay? Let's say that you have a product that is $10. You are offering 10% off, and so it is $1 off that product. Instead of saying save $1 on this product, in this case, I would want you to say save 10%, because 10 is a bigger number than 1, and so psychologically, 10% off seems like a better deal than $1 off, even though they are exactly the same. Let me see if I can find another example. Let's say you have a $200 gift box and you want to give a $40 discount on that gift box. That $40 discount, let me make sure that I'm doing my math correctly now. That would be a 20% discount, correct? You just got to watch me do math or listen to me do math live, okay? So we've got a $200 gift box. We are doing a 20% discount. You could say this two ways. You could say 20% off, or you could say $40 off. But which one sounds better? $40 off sounds better than 20% off, even though they are exactly the same. So keep that in mind when you are communicating these deals, whether it's 10% cash back or is it $25 cash back. Whatever it is, you want to go with that larger number because psychologically that feels a lot better, okay? And I think the last thing that I want to leave you with as you are thinking about these sales and promotions is that you should always, always, always have an end date in mind. And not just in mind, an end date that you are promoting to your customers, because that sense of urgency can be really powerful. If there is no end date and it is on sale forever. And I know some of you are thinking, well, it's just going to be on sale until I sell what I need to, or until I get rid of this inventory. Or, yeah, you've got to have a sense of urgency there. And so having a sale like that goes on forever is not a great strategy for really increasing your sales in the short term or moving inventory. What we like to do in our promotions is we don't always mention the end date at the beginning of our promotions. So let's say it's a week-long sale. If I send out an email that first Monday, I may not mention when the sale is going to end, because you are going to grab some people that are just so excited and they know that the sale is going to be temporary. But then as I get closer to the end date, then I'm really going to start using that sense of urgency and saying only 48 hours left, only 1 day left. This is your last chance. This is your last email reminder. So make sure that you get your order in before this deadline. If you're like, okay, Katie, but I really needed to move this ground beef and I ran my week-long sale and it didn't move enough of it and I still have too much, you can run another sale, but then let's switch it up, okay? So if the first sale was a discount on each pound of ground beef, maybe it was 10% off on each pound of ground beef, then maybe we wait a few days and the next sale is spend $100 and get a pound of ground beef. If a pound of ground beef is worth $6 to $10 for you, that's basically like they're getting 6 to 8% off. And then if you still have ground beef at the end of that, then maybe you say 10-pound bundle boxes of ground beef are discounted by this much, and that's your deal. There, you can run different deals to the same product until you get rid of it. But again, you've got to have an end date in order to have that sense of urgency, because that is such a powerful piece of marketing. All right, I hope that this was helpful for you. It's really just kind of a brain dump for me with all of the things that I've been working on with ChopLocal and our holiday sales, as well as the clients that we've been working on. And if you ever want to get on a call with me and talk through these things one-on-one and say, this is where I'm at, I'd like to try some sales and promotions. Maybe you've tried them before and they haven't worked the way that you wanted them to. I would love to hop on a call with you and do that. We have consulting plans where we can get on one-on-one calls and talk through your challenges, and I can share what I've learned by working with other meat businesses throughout the last 5 years. And then if you're like, oh, I want to use some Meta or Google ads to help me promote my meat as well, or you need to branch out into email marketing, you haven't done that, we also offer those services. So please go ahead and get in touch with us anytime with your meat marketing needs.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Meat Success. We hope this episode gave you fresh insights and inspiration to beef up your meat marketing. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, follow us on social, and share with your fellow farmers and butchers. Have questions or ideas for future podcasts? Reach out to ChopLocalUniversity.com. Until next time, remember, there's more than one recipe for meat success.